What up, home crew? How's it going? Another video here. It's been a few weeks. If you wonder what these glasses are, they're not sunglasses, just regular reading glasses. Needing more glasses these days to see what the hell I'm reading and needing them more and more. So anyway, just this is the easiest way I've found recently to be able to hold on to these things. So, hope everything's going well with you all. It's been continually being an interesting adventure with all the drama and the wildness with the coronavirus drama stuff. And I wanted to share with you an experience I had with one of my family members regarding some suggestions that I gave to them regarding worry and other things. So we'll start off with also I just want to say now that if later in this video we're going to do a little clearance meditation. So if you wanted to hang out and listen to what I got to say, or you can fast forward to that, or whatever you wish to do. But everything I'm going to say actually relates to the clearance meditation, so might be beneficial for you to listen to it. So first of all, the person that I'm talking about, the family member, very knowledgeable about, have heard and has worked on focusing in the now. It's very, heard about, as most of you have already heard about, gratitude and everything else. So with everything that's going on right now, it's very easy for our focus to be into the future, because anything that's going on, say, next week, in the coming months, and so on, it's up in the air. There's nothing really are knowledgeable about how everything's going to play out in the coming months. And that has to relate to a lot of different things, not only financially, but the way things are progressing, and with the virus and the information that's being shared in the world, there's a lot of uncertainties that are flowing. And so when our focus basically goes into, say, the what ifs, the wondering if this happens, then this happens, and if we focus on that continually, basically it gets to be draining on us in a lot of different ways. It's anxiety creates stress, and the more that we feed that stress, basically it becomes, as we describe in the New Paradigm workshops, a thought form. And the more that we feed that thought form, basically the more that it grows and becomes very draining on us. So the actual simple, a lot of times we do this, and I've done this many times in the past also, about different topics that you're sort of uncertain about, and as you, over a period of days, weeks, even or months, you're continually in the background maybe feeding that thought form, or that uncertainty of the future, and that's also tied into worry. It's basically almost one and the same thing. That thought form of that worry, or whatever it is, continues to grow, as I mentioned, and it, in a lot of different ways, everyone feels this stuff differently. But the biggest thing is it's very draining, but also it's heavy. So as the suggestion I gave to this family member is, to realign, focusing in the now, with so many uncertainties with so many different aspects of our living, reality, is that you know, basically taking one step at a time, one day at a time. Really just focusing your best with your, your awareness in the now. What that does is aligns your perceptions, and basically that defeating of, say, those external, say, thought forms that are draining and heavy. When you align, a lot of times you're able to see what you have been giving your power to, these thought forms. And a lot of time you might feel a shift, as this family member that I'm just describing here actually did. Felt a shift, felt a release of heaviness. And so everything that I'm describing here is actually very real. It is a lot of times, the more that you pay attention to these aspects of what we give our, say, energy to, you're able to, say, observe them more, and also clear them. Once you start sensing that you're off in alignment, you're able to readjust. So in this scenario, the person was able to readjust, and it really assisted with the draining heavy energy of the stress. Of course, the stress, as I've shared before in the past, is very draining and also affects your, our physical immune system. It's not very healthy, and in these days of, everybody going on about different things to actually take care of yourself in relation to the virus, the way I see it, stress is very affects our physical health a lot more than what we give it credit to. Simply just hoping for a vaccine, when we're under heavy stress that causes, initiates inflammation in the body and so on, which is a whole nother topic that I'm not going to go into right now. But the most important thing is that stress builds up over time, and it causes all kinds of issues with the physical body. So the the aligning in the now is very, very helpful in these days. So the second part of this is, once you've sort of taken your awareness and you've realigned it to be in the now, you're not really projecting into the future, continually projecting into the future, you're not holding on to projections from the past. You're really just relaxing in the now. You might be feeling more relaxed, but at the same time, you're like, okay, what do I do here in the now? So my suggestion is that you work on, and again, this family member, I'm using it as an example. I gave the example of, working on replacing some of that worry of being, say, in different situations related to this virus, and like, what are the consequences of being in different situations, is replacing that worry with gratitude. So the first thing about gratitude that I'm going to just say right now is, when I say gratitude or being thankful for something, it's not a mental projection. It's not just something you say as you're going through the drive-through to get some food at a restaurant or something. You say thank you. What I'm talking about is actually feeling gratitude. It's not even something that you have to say out loud. Is that actually, it's a feeling. It's an actual energy. So replacing some of those worries to say, if you have a certain situation, I'll give you the example. Say if you are in some situations and are using the topic of this COVID virus scenario that we're in, you have an older person that you are around on a continually basis, or say somebody that has a challenged, immune system that is already, in a weakened state, and you are out and about in the world, and you're doing your best common sense to be in different situations, to say to where you're, say, having awareness of what's going on, but at the same time you're trying to be careful of your scenarios. Therefore, you don't want to get the virus and then be around this other person that has the weakened immune system. If you're constantly in the back of your mind running that scenario, it's creating, again, as I described, a thought form, which then over time becomes draining. So the best thing, the suggestion I have for you is, when you're in those scenarios, to say, for example, you are in a group of people that, in a room with a lot of people, and you feel uncomfortable being in that situation. Again, my suggestion is that you do what you feel is comfortable. I'm not going to get into, say, debating on what is right, what is wrong, masks, or anything else regarding these scenarios, if groups are good or bad or anything else. This is not a debate. What I'm sharing with you is actually how to assist yourself in these scenarios, is do what you feel comfortable doing. Therefore, if you're not feeling comfortable in that environment, then you change it. You leave or do whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. And at the same time, while you're in that environment, and you start sensing this worry because it's tied back to this other scenario that continually is repeating within your awareness, is replace that feeling while you're in that environment with gratitude. You walk into a room and or store or restaurant that you have to basically go get some food or something like that, and you're like, this is a situation I'm not comfortable in. As soon as you sense that, use your common sense for what you will need to do in that scenario. But at the same time, if any worry comes up that's tied back to, see, well, I can't be here because this might affect this other person, replace that feeling with gratitude. Say, be thankful and feel the gratitude that you actually have the ability to walk into that restaurant, to be able to walk into that store, that you have the ability and the money to actually buy the food or to be in that environment, to get what you need, that you have the transportation to basically even get to yourself, to get to that location. So there's a lot of different things you could focus on to say. It's to remind yourself, when you sense that worry, you replace that with gratitude. So, it's not like it's going to just happen the first time. It's replacing the pattern of you having that worry, and it's basically in your subconscious mind repeating, that's feeding that thought form, that draining, heavy thought form. So in order to basically dissolve that thought form and create a new thought form that's tied into gratitude, it's going to take some repetitive action on your part. And so therefore, being in those scenarios, reminding yourself, observing yourself, when you catch yourself worrying about something that, again, is tied into the future of an unknown event, replace that scenario with gratitude. Continually do that, and it'll become a pattern. And so with this example of this family member, is that the person was already, well aware of the benefits of gratitude, already doing it with different parts of their life. The biggest thing is, with so much change and stuff going on right now, even a partial thinking once or twice a day about an unknown scenario and or some worry will build up into these thought forms. And so The biggest thing is to continually do it over and over with all kinds of different scenarios, where basically you're living in the energy of gratitude, not just saying it once or twice a day, or say in meditation in the morning, but basically it's there continuously. And to some of you, basically hearing me describe that, is, well, that's a far off concept. All I can say is that I've gone through it. To me, gratitude is the most transformative tool that we have available to us to transition our awareness out of the deepest, darkest spaces that we could ever imagine. It's an incredibly powerful tool of, if you're in a space of unknowingness, is to focus on that, and it will illuminate no matter where you are. So that is the tool and or the suggestion I have during these times of great change, is if you're finding yourself worrying about the unknowns in the coming weeks, months, whenever, focus on gratitude. Replace the patterns with what you were thinking, and or the anxiety and the stress and the worry, with gratitude. There's always something that basically you can focus on regarding gratitude, and it's very, very powerful, as I said. So those are the main things that I wanted to say. I just glance at my notes, make sure I'm going through everything here. So the biggest part regarding these thought forms, and just, I make references regarding the new paradigm workshops because they're so transformative and so beneficial tools in themselves. So that's the reason why a lot of times I reference them. So in those workshops, regarding one of the initial meditations that we do in those workshops is a very in-depth clearance meditation that basically works on clearing a lot of different things. One of those things is the thought forms, and these thought forms, as I mentioned a little bit ago, become very draining, but we are the ones that created them. And so in this scenario, for those of you that, are sitting there listening to my words right now, is to sort of take some deep breaths. If you want to close your eyes, if you want to keep your eyes open, it doesn't really matter. So the biggest thing is take a couple deep breaths, and to focus on your breath for a short period of time, 2 or 3 breaths in and out, pretty much the same length out, same length in, same length out, same length in. So with these thought forms, might go through your awareness that these thought forms are bad, that we have created. The biggest thing is that we are surrounded, our energetic system, our body is basically surrounded by thought forms, our own creations. So they're not necessarily bad or good. They just are what they are. They basically have their own vibration. It's because the energy that we're putting into them is that vibration. So as the biggest thing is, you can clear thought forms all you want from the levels of your energetic systems. The more that you become aware of your own creational thought forms and how you're giving your energy to them, and you play with your ability to clear them, sense them. If you have your eyes closed, sometimes if you look around with your multidimensional vision, you might be able to sense. If you look up to the top left of your head, you imagine looking out through the top left of your head, and you look around that side, you look around the left-hand side of your body, you look around the right, you might sense in some areas sluggishness, darkness, heaviness. Those, in a lot of different ways, are these thought forms. Once you become aware of them, you basically have the ability to transform them, to eliminate or clear them, and or replace them. So just because you might clear them and you don't change your patterns that basically create and or fuel them, they will recreate within a period of days or weeks. So that's the importance of changing your patterns, is we can clear thought forms extremely easily. The biggest thing is changing the patterns that feed and create them is what makes the real sustainable long-term change. So, feeling out through the levels of your energetic systems, focus in the center of your chest while you're taking your breaths. And actually imagine yourself, your whole physical body, encased in a thought form, just like a bubble, okay? And there's outer bubbles and so on beyond this bubble and so on and so on. The biggest thing is that just for this clearance, you're just focusing on the bubble that your physical body is within. Now, with your awareness and or your hands, you basically sort of like wash this bubble. You go back and forth through it. You feel your hand as you have your eyes open or closed, and you feel around this bubble. As you do, you might be able to see like little smaller bubbles dissolving and or popping or dissolving into smoke and or dust and or sparks. So me working with you on a multidimensional level, working together with the transformative energy of gratitude, radiating out from the center of your chest, dissolving all of the thought forms are within the levels of your energetic systems into gratitude now. So as you take some deep breaths and you're feeling around the energetic systems, you may feel some releases. You may feel some and or may sense some things and or these little thought forms dissolving, sparks flying, smoke, or whatever. It's a matter of just transforming all thought forms into gratitude and or what you could say Mahatma love energy, love without conditions, throughout all levels of your energetic systems. As you continue to play and or sense and or feel and transmute, we're working together multidimensionally to clear all thought forms in all forms throughout all levels of your existence into Mahatma love and into gratitude. Taking deep breaths, releasing. Taking your awareness down below your feet. Remember, there's thought forms, in all sizes, all around us in 360 degrees. So it's just not a matter of just focusing in one area. So that's an exercise that's fairly quick and easy that you can do at any time throughout your day, or in the mornings, or while you're taking a shower. A lot of times I do that, clearing sort of with your, I use my hands a lot when I'm working in that way. And past videos, I actually gave the example of using the big hand, which your hand basically can be the size of your body. It can also be a lot bigger than the size of your body. And when you use that in that size, basically you can clear a lot of energy within one swoop. And so it could be basically the size of the earth if you wanted to, or beyond. So it's all according in how you see yourself. That is the biggest thing. Is the clearing part is the easy part. Changing our patterns that basically recreate the vibrational thought forms within the levels of our energetic systems is the, say, a little bit challenging, but the most important thing is you have to focus on it. In order for us to basically do that, it's not someone else doing it for us. It is us basically being aware of what we are creating, taking responsibility for those creations, and taking our power to basically using our own power to transmute those energetics into, say, harmony and balance. So that's it. With this example of replacing worry with gratitude. And I hope this assists with what you're experiencing in your own life, and what we are currently going through, this transitional reset on a collective level. So until the next video, thank you, my friends. If this information assists, you can comment, share some comments below in the video. It's always nice to get some feedback on how this information assists. So any comments, definitely always nice to see. Hope you all have a nice day. See you next time. Cheers.